Brave new world. The world belongs to you. Here is a news story about the un-American dream. I'm Addi Banks, and this is my report. On June 10th, 2022, Jamie Davis Smith's story, posted at Insider Lifestyle, was headlined, "I got my kids dual citizenship. As a mom, I want to make sure they always have access to the best opportunities that they can get." She writes, "I want to give my children all the opportunities to do what they want as they grow older. I found out I could apply for Polish citizenship since my grandfather was born there. Now both of my children have dual citizenship with the United States and EU passports. Long before I had children, I had a wanderlust that brought me to more than 40 countries before I was 25 years old. I spent a few days in some and a few months in others. I saw incredible sights. I had adventures, but I also learned that the way of life I had accepted as the norm in the United States was not a given everywhere. I discovered that almost all Europeans get several weeks of vacation every year, guaranteed health care, and access to higher education at a minimum cost. Plus, many countries offer subsidies for childcare and extended paid maternity leave. Fear of gun violence was not part of their daily life. It was hard not to want that lifestyle for myself, although I never took any serious steps toward moving abroad. The reality of what I was missing hit hard as the years went on. Even with the privilege of family assistance and scholarships, I racked up over $100,000 in student loan debt. Despite having a comfortable job with the federal government, when my daughter was born with complex medical needs, I found myself having to borrow leave from my generous coworkers. This year, a close friend's daughter was at a nearby school when a gunman opened fire. As my children grew, I often found myself wondering if I could give them the chance to live somewhere that offered different and better opportunities. Dual citizenship with the European Union was my first thought. I started by casually researching the benefits of dual citizenship with a European Union country. With an EU passport, my children could live, work, and study throughout the continent. Even if they didn't want to move abroad, they could have the option of staying in most of Europe if they like to travel and take an internship or could set themselves apart. I learned that many employers favor hiring dual citizens because of the flexibility it gives them to conduct business abroad. I also like the idea of having strong ties to the countries of their great grandparents, and hope that citizenship would spark curiosity and open the doors to cultural opportunities. Although my husband's family has deep roots in the United States, going back to the American Revolution, my family consists of more recent arrivals, part of the vast Jewish diaspora. My ancestors scattered across Europe and beyond, often fleeing one oppressor and then another. I started crafting a family tree and researching which of the numerous countries where my ancestors had previously settled would offer their descendants citizenship. I applied for a Polish passport. Although there were a few potential options, I settled on applying for citizenship in Poland. My grandfather had lived in Poland before coming to the United States, and I had inherited his nearly 100-year-old Polish passport. With this document in hand, proving that I was descended from a Polish citizen was relatively easy. I discovered that Poland already considered me, the granddaughter of one of their own, a citizen. And I needed to obtain documentation confirming my citizenship rather than applying outright. Once I became a Polish citizen, my children's citizenship was easily confirmed. While it's still too soon to tell if they will choose to stay in the United States, which undoubtedly has much to offer, or choose a different route, I am thrilled that they will have access to opportunities that were not available to me. What was just a daydream for me can be a reality for them. Now that's a twist on the American dream. I immediately turned to the comments. Nicole wrote, interesting how this writer clearly is unhappy living in the United States, and yet even with the means to move abroad, the writer stays. I was expecting the writer to move and raise the children abroad and still have access to the privileges of the United States. Very interesting read. Ma wrote, writers should move overseas with her children and leave a generous government job. Leave the USA to those who appreciate what we have and are willing to fight to keep it. With so many trying to enter the USA, she has opportunity to leave it all behind. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Joe wrote, privilege at its finest. Oopsie added, sounds like it's time for Poland to update its citizenship laws. And Mike wrote, rich, white, elite liberals, so proud of their first world accomplishments. I write a lot about homeland loyalty, particularly those who leave home to find the American dream here. This twist is informative because it shows that America's not the end all for dreamers. But people leave or consider options for the same reasons as our writer, better life after comparing options elsewhere and giving up on their homeland serving those needs. You only live once, right? The globalization world already touts a mentality that the world is open to you if you can get there. Leave home and study in America, China, England, Germany, and wherever you can get to. Stay there if you can. Marry a citizen and live in a better place. Open borders world is an entitlement, it seems. When school shootings racist confrontations, even personal ones at the office, police misconduct, as well as economic challenges, open thoughts of escape, it is natural and human to consider them. The rightest children may be well received in the EU as citizens because they are few and they are white. However, if or when the numbers reach invasion status, which is doubtful in this case, expect rejections and resentment, because that is also a human and natural reaction.